Many soldiers served in combat positions, and many more filled support roles. Regardless of their duty, everyone saw war. Often, these West Virginia soldiers stepped up and volunteered for it.
I have so little memory of that 4 hours that I spent knocking out or burning out 7 pillboxes. Some of it, there's 2 or 3 things that are just so vivid, I can almost reach out and touch them. And there are others, like, how did I get my flamethrowers? Nobody brought them to me. I know that. But there are times that I can't remember.
From about 10 o'clock in the morning till dark, every 5 minutes, 3 suicide planes come over that mountain. And we got hit. So we had one coming on each starboard and port. We had one coming in this way, and then one come in over the bow. Well, we got the 2 coming in, port and starboard, but the one come in over the bow, the 5-inch gun jammed. Had a piece of cloth and jammed, and it hit the mast, and everybody up there, that's where the captain stayed.
To be effective, you have to be amongst the people. You can't lead back in the rear. You got to be there. And if you want to change people's mindsets, you got to be where the people are. Because if you're not, that Taliban will be. So if you're there, you can keep the Taliban away enough to be able to convince some of these people that, look, we're here to help. We want to do positive things for you. I want to see your children get educated. I want to see you start your business and do something with it. Not have the Taliban come here and keep you oppressed. But let me tell you something. You know, when you're on Camp Victory, Baghdad, which is where the Al-Fa Palace is, and they know that that's where the headquarters is, let me tell you something. There's some rockets and mortars that come in there that absolutely wound and kill people all the time.
My outfit followed Patton. Wherever he went, we went. He would say, I'll have that airfield over there for you at 10 o'clock in the morning. They're still firing down there. You can see the tanks are firing and everything right in the middle of the field. Most of the time, he did good. Sometimes we landed while they were bombing or while they were shooting.
When we were getting ready to jump off for Saarbrücken, they had to get this machine gun squad out of the way. So they sent up a FO, a forward observer. He was usually a first lieutenant with a sergeant with him that carried a 300 radio. It was a big thing, about that big a square that fit on his back. And the officer was trying to get the machine gun placement zeroed in. So he would stand up, and he had a carbine, and he would stand up and fire, and then the Germans would return his fire. And he just couldn't get zeroed in. And I said, well, I don't think you're going to scare them to death with that carbine. So I said, let me get up and get in where they can see me, and I'll run back and forth, and maybe you can get a better position on them. And so anyway, he finally, they fired at me, and he was able to get them zeroed in and got knocked out. And he said, I'll turn you in for Bronze Star.
Then we had flights into the smoke of the oil well fires. That sticks in my head. We were flying into there, strapped into the aircraft, trying to let the pilot know when we get right off the ground, because you can't see, it's black, where the wingtips are, to whether he needs to go around or if he's okay to land.
When we landed on the beach, it was high tide, and the water was so deep we couldn't get out in it. And we had to wait there in the open. And German fighter planes would come over at treetop level. You can't believe how close they come, just spraying bullets everywhere. And so we had to wait until tide went out. And they opened up the front of it, and we stepped out in the ocean and waded ashore.
In combat, a lot of guys, where guys get hit, they get hit in the shoulder, in the head, in the neck, or in the butt. Because you're laying flat in the dirt. And that's where the rounds hit you. You know, people say, you go shot in the butt. Well, yeah, because I'm laying on the ground, and that's what was sticking up. You know, it wasn't shot in the butt because I was running away.
You know, you could be in maintenance, you could be in sheet metal, you could be in engines, prop and rotor, whatever it is, but a lot of the guys that was flying over regular, they get wore out, so a lot of the people from maintenance and engine shops and prop and rotor, sheet metal, they'd volunteer to take their missions to give them a break. And that's how we done a lot of flying over there, is we'd volunteer to fly.
I was the radio operator, company commander's radio operator. And then it got, where some of the guys would go on patrol every night. I didn't have to go. And I told the commander, I said, those guys go out every night on patrol. And I'm staying back here in a tent, where it's a little bit warmer. And I said, I'm going to relieve some of them. He said, now you know it's a dangerous thing to do. I said, well, I know that. But I said, I'm no better than they are. So, I'm glad. Sometimes we make contact, sometimes we didn't. But I guess it wasn't my time to go, and I made it back.
I was sitting in my tube, and you know, they have the locals that sell those little DVDs. I bought one of those, and it was Boondock Saints 2. And I'm sitting there, and at the end of it, there's a shootout scene, and I had the headphones on because my roommate was working night shift, and he was sleeping at the time. And I'm thinking, the gunfire is awfully loud in this. You know, the sound quality just jumped up. And then I feel another one, and I mean, instantly our whole tub's shaking, and my battle buddy sets up and just immediately grabs his gear, and he's like, we're getting hit.
I know when I was down on the ground, probably about 4 to 6 feet. We'd been there a long time, you know, and again. And those shells hit, they just raise you right up, you know. And I went out the next day and measured 6 of my feet, and you could have buried a truck in that hole where they hit, you know.
We got overran one night, and the Viet Cong ran over a compound or broke into it, and they tore up one of our guns in Cambodia. Yeah, it was in Cambodia.